consulted and are engaged. If you have a bill, all of a sudden you go to the act, it gives the people of South Africa an opportunity to challenge that process, because you never went into the process of consultation. Where we are now, we are in a process of consultation. That's why amongst us here, we have legal people, because we don't want to off-ramp. We must know exactly. Tomorrow, I don't want to be accused to say you did not give an opportunity of the Korana people in the district of Fezile Dabi an opportunity to input. I don't want to be accused on that, because previous cases against the government, the issue of consultation was extremely high on the agenda. Now this time by the judges to say you did not consult. So it is important from me standing here to raise these issues without fear or favor. Raise these things to say this is a thing. But the bill itself, I repeat, it's not an act. Anything inside the bill will never be implemented until it changes to become an act. So when you stand here, don't think the bill is an act. It's not. It's a document that assists people to engage one another. And then after that, when you have concluded the processes across the province itself, then the legislature will pronounce itself on this matter, having taken all the input. That's why I made it a point that there is no one that is going to be left outside this process. I start from the top. I engage with the chiefs of Korana. I engage with everyone, so that tomorrow when I stand and say and ask, who did you consult? I can have my list. And backed by this, I will have an attendance register. Because it will be questioning whether you did consult and who did you consult. Am I understood? That's why I'm having this. But the bill gives an opportunity to the people to input. That's what it does, and that's what it seeks to arrive at. That's why we are going in all the 5 districts. Because your view might not necessarily be the same as the people in Lejweleputswa. The Lejweleputswa people views and input might not be the same as the one in Motheo, and might not be the same with the one in Thabo Mofutsanyana. They will differ. That on its own, it is the one that forced the committee to say, let's give the chiefs an opportunity to input, and that's what we have done. So from where I am standing, I'm confident from the high level of the Khoisang, I've done that consultation. I've done that consultation. Whether you don't agree with it, it's another matter. But please, let's not leave the public hearing to say we did not consult. We have done that. And they have said to me, you gave us an opportunity, and please, we will make and meet with you again to conclude our discussion. Our main aim as the committee is to respond to the concerns of the Khoisang that says we are not included in the traditional, where we can raise our views because we are excluded. Now the bill says we must now take the processes forward. Whether there are areas that you need, and I've heard one say, don't speak to us with senior chief. It's fine. If you reject the word senior, it's okay. That's your input. I don't have a reason to exclude that. You have the right to say, no, that one don't include, this one include, that one don't include. But please, it has been long for the people of Khoisan not being included. It has been long. If I'm getting an answer that says, we are not interested on the process of including us, I must understand it. And that's why I'll keep on repeating it, so that this area, I must know that they have said, please don't include us. Honorable members, I must get that. If they say, don't include us as Khoisan, I'm not talking about the content. I'm talking the aim of the bill itself. Upon conclusion, the people must say, we want to be included, or we don't want to be included. And I'm not standing here to politic. That's why I made it from the beginning. This is an extension, this is not an extension of political engagement. It's to give our people their constitutional right to input. That's where we are. So, this one, I am forced to explain of the word be, because that one I know, it's a constitution of South Africa. It's a constitution of the South Africa. And as the chair, I must respect the constitution. Because you know what? If I don't respect the constitution, you can take me to court. So I must stand up and say, this K word and that B word, it's against the constitution. I thought that I must clarify this so that you understand from where you are. Some of the things you might not be able to understand it, but it becomes the role of this leadership to advise us, because we are not the same. Advise to say that one is right and that one is not right, so that you must not find yourself having off-ramped unaware and taken a different detour unaware. You must just be careful about that and be advised. The next speaker. I'm trying my level best to put that on the line. Thank you very much.
Goeiemôre almal. Ek is heerlik Turkie van Parys af. Ek gaan so 'n klein geskiedenis gee van my. Ek verstaan presies wat die chairperson sê. Ons is nie hier om te kom politiek praat nie. Ons gaan na die punt toe. My punt is, yes, we accept it. Nommer 2. My pa kom van die Kaap af. En hy kom in Viljoenskroon en hy kry 'n soete vrou. Goddoeno. En ek is gebore, 60 jaar. My pa is dood toe ek 5 jaar oud. En hoekom ek wil sê, is die koningshuis. Hoekom julle wat sê julle is ons verteenwoordigers en nie lank na ons toe gekom nie. Julle kom nou wat die bil moet deurgevoer word. En al wat ek wil sê, ek weet, want ek is 'n bietjie geleer, dat sy eerste bekleding daar by die koningshuis. Nou wil ek vir julle vra, as die bil gaan accept word en alles is goed vir ons, ek agree. Maar asseblief man, daar is mense wat ek weet, wat meestersgrade het, wat nie 25.000 rand 'n maand pay nie. Dit gaan oor geld. Daai koningshuise, ek het eendag gelees, die Zululand, daai koningshuis kry 75 miljoen rand per jaar. Dis waarom dit gaan. Dit gaan nie oor ons nie. En ek wil net mooi vir, as julle daar gaan praat en beklei vir ons, moet nie beklei vir die gelde by julle gaan kry. Dankie toch, want ons sukkel. Ek sta vir 60 jaar, 30 jaar in die ANC regering. Help ons, dat ons ook kan lewe. Want die ANC herken ons nie. Daarom vraag my net baie mooi. Moet nie gaan beklei vir geld daar nie man. Los die geld storie. En omdat mense wat meestersgrade het, Minpay, dan gaan kry hulle 100,000 rand vir wat? Om daar te gaan sit by 'n meeting? Vir hoeveel kry jy daai dag? 25,000 rand of wat ook al, maak nie vir my saak nie. Gaan bekry vir ons en nie gaan bekry vir jou sak nie, man. Dit is wat onze kanselors doen in Parys. Hy gaan net daar, as hy geel kry, as hy weg. Kom ons los die politiek. Kom ons los die politiek. I agree on the bill. Maar julle ouens, hoekom jy ook nie eens na ons toe gekom nie? Dat jy kan ken as jy my ken. Hoe is jy, van waar kom jy? Ek ken julle nie. Kom jy na ons toe? Dit was nie nodig nie. Hoekom kom nie eens na my toe sê vir my, want ek het verdelik wie ek is. Hendrik Morkeer, van Parys af. My paas van die Kaap het 'n swart verhuurskool gekry. En hier sê, kooi julle man, het 'n lekker dag, man.
Thank you very much. The next speaker.
Thank you, Leadership Chairperson, and ladies and gentlemen of the panel. Thank you, Links Royal Family. I would just like to ask, the atrocities committed since 1652 by the first Dutch settlers against our people, what is the bill interpretation of that kind of retribution? And if we get land, is there any demarcation of land allocated for us? Where will the budget be allocated from? And it's useless to give us land and then we don't know how to farm. Will the Department of Agriculture, when my livestock are sick or ill, will they assist me? Or what kind of assistance will I get? And then there's the derogatory word of colored, which was forced upon us by the imperious colonialists. I would also like them to look into that and then to fast track this thing of our recognition as traditional leaders of the Khoisan people. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
I was left with two hands there to conclude this. I was left with two hands. Those people can come forward. Now, if you are called in and you don't show face, I'm not going to wait for you. I proceed. Thank you very much. In that day, you can take the mic.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and the entire panel. My name is Finas Mahapi. I'm also from Sasobek, actually. Actually, I'm so down because what I've seen the legislature doing today. Because after 30 years, they are trying to come up with the participations, particularly for the certain nations that was closed outside. So I remember then when I was in the primary level, there was a book that used to talk about the Khoisans. But in this particular government, they started recognizing the Khoisans after 30 years. Where this government came from? Where this government came from? Whereas, when I grew up, I knew that the Khoisans are the first nations in South Africa. So, but I'm feeling sorry for you, Chairpersons and the entire government, that at least so far so good, you are cleaning your mind to recognize these the beautiful nations of the Khoisans. To South Africa to be the winning nations, let's stop to close other nations outside. So you should act like the box, because now the box bring the nation together. Here is my point of the Chairperson today. I'm also going to be against about the way the participation take place now, because we are dealing with the big issues now, whereby involving the lives of other peoples. And I think that the same participations should go town by town or ward by ward. I don't know what about the budget of the legislature maybe, but it's going to be good if the very same participations must move town by town, because there is no coincidence. There is coincidence in Sasolburg, there is coincidence in Frankfurt, there is coincidence in Frankfurt, but it's very difficult to be the part of these participations. So I appeal to the same panel and to the chairperson as well, that this is not enough participations, because we are talking about the lives of the peoples. So go back again and in clean your mind, make sure that each and every towns must be given a chance of these participations, so that everybody must be on board all about what is all about in these participations. For now, then I will also say that no, I am aware that we're the very same people that who are leading the very participations, they forget about Ubuntu. They forget about Ubuntu. If they apply the Ubuntu firstly, then the participations as we speak right now. Because Ubuntu is going to give you, it's going to clean your mind, and it's going to give you directions. Meaning that the very legislature under the chairperson of Netemashilini, I'll appeal to you again as well. Because when I see you, I see politicians, but today I see a different persons now. Hence I'm saying that because we are dealing with the different peoples here. We are dealing with the lives of the people. The very people who are sitting outside there, who are sitting on their house with the pains. Who are sitting outside there in their house with the pains. I can see the member of the DA here. He's just watching me right now, but I'm saying against today, I'm saying, please, these participations, let's go to all the towns, so that when the questions came from Sir Ramaphosa, asking that who will consult, they will say that I managed to go each and every towns of Free State. Okay, number two. Then I truly agree when you said about it. The bill is the consultation of the process. Indeed, it's correct. You are very correct of that. But who are the first preference of that? Because it seems like the consultants are the first ones. Hence, I'm indicating that all these things must go to town by town. The government should budget for this. Don't complain about the budget. They should budget this because they're talking about the lives of the peoples now. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Hona le ntate yane e ke mo thibile mo hobane letsogo la hae ha ne re qalane le sa phahama. Jwale, let me be open, frank and honest. Come to the floor and speak. After that one, I will now move to anything that the presenter would want to say and give the opportunity to members of the committee, and that's it. I will come to you and say, do you support the bill together with what you have raised, or you don't? If you don't support the bill, I will see the hands. If you support the bill, I will see the hands equally. The reason why I'm taking you to that process, it's because there are those that are saying we support, there are those that are saying we don't support. So I want to check properly that area one is.
I'm a chair. Let me thank the chairperson together with the people sitting with him. The House as it is, I'm Senior Chief Martins from the National Khoisan Kingdom, whereof I would like to talk to the House about the bill. First and foremost, they are talking about the National Cohesion Bill or the Act, whatever that may be. If you look at it, as the same people, not the cohesion people, as the same people in this land, we are not to ask for whatever that is being to be given to us. We are not to ask whatever that belongs to us. We are the saints here. We are not the citizens of this land. We are the saints. So the only thing that can happen, because we are the natives here, it should be the land should be unto us so that we can rule ourselves. But the only thing that is happening is we are being played with whatever that is being done unto us. So this should come to us whereof we are given the chance. We are not going to be taken afar from where we want to be, because this land belongs to us and the act belongs to us. So why should we come and say the act should only play for those who is been given to? Because right now, as some people, we are nothing to this act. So it needs to be given to us so that we can rule ourselves. And to tell that the House, the very government should understand we are not their subject, they are our subject. We should rule them instead of them ruling us. And it's a fact that we are putting things in a perspective so that they should understand what is it that we're doing. So we're now telling them there is no act that is going to tell the kingdom how by the politicians how to rule us. We are to tell them how they should do things. They're our servers, not being us having some sort of unions or whatever. This should come to an end whereof the land should come to where it belongs. The acts should come to where they belong. Amashe, thank you.
Right. I've heard all of you, and one area that I will not pass without explaining is this one. That there has been complaint on the Khoisan people that they feel excluded. It has been many years that this matter has not been addressed. Now an approach is taken to say we cannot keep quiet for too long when our people are crying. Let's listen to them. Now when you do that, South Africa is a constitutional country, meaning it's run by the Constitution. So that whenever that you do, you must not undermine the Constitution. Now, because if you undermine the Constitution, you will be taken to the other sphere of governance, which is judiciary. And you argue your point there. But you are not going to argue Constitution. Constitution was adopted by the National Parliament. And for the Constitution to be adopted, it needed 2/3 majority. So, as things stands now, the Constitution of the country still remains. So, when we are here, if we touch on the constitutional issues, please understand that we cannot change the Constitution at this level because it needs the majority of the National Parliament to change the Constitution. That's why I spoke about words that are unconstitutional, to say dear member, this word it's unconstitutional, and that one it's unconstitutional. I have to raise it because my understanding is that if it is unconstitutional and I don't raise it with yourselves, it implies that I agree with it. And that's not where I am. Secondly, when you see this committee, that's why Hakine Kibula, when I started, I said, please understand, it's not about how you come here and you do. It's about how do we change the lives of the Khoisan to the better. That's the reason, because for quite too long, the people have not been included. But I can't say include or not include. I can't say that. It should be the people on the ground. For a king of the Khoisan to participate and input in the provincial, traditional leaders, it has to be enacted and become an act, which is where we are. If that is enacted and it passes through, then it will be an act. When you stand here, I want to advise, don't change, because I want to hear the clear mandate of saying, when you were in Kroonstad, the people of Kroonstad, the community of Kroonstad rejected the bill. And when it does that, it says X. Because tomorrow this committee, this work, it must report to the national parliament. It must report to the national parliament. And in the national parliament, the recordings that you have seen here, the recordings that you have made here, that's why Riyadzang recording. That's why we are doing a recording. So that even if anyone does not listen to what members are saying, they would say to us, give us the recording. And then the recording is needed. But equal responsibility is that you should have advised community properly. Now, I'm saying, now listen to this one. After this, a further opportunity is given for you not only to speak, but to make written submission. Right? Make a written submission with your motivation and say, this is how I strongly feel. Take your pen. I'm giving you the email. One. The email address where you should submit, you must put your submission. It's C, small letter, CHABANAC at fsl.org.za. That's where you submit the written submission. Help us to do that. All right. Let me be I ask hand before, but if there are still people that want to say something, I can see 1, 2, 3 hands. Oh, .gov.za, yeah. .gov, not .org, but .gov, G-O-V. All right. Am I seeing hands? All right. Let's say Let me start there. Let me start there. Let me start there. Number one. Don't lower your hand. How keta will promise. Number one, don't make a bill. Number two, at the back, come. Number three, there. Number four, and number five. Then I would have concluded the back part. I will come in front. Just be patient. Be patient. There's no one that is going to be closed here. Yes, ma, when I go straight to the mic and take the mic. Others that I have called.
Amashe, Sanbonani, Dumela. Greetings to the whole house. Naki Mutsidisi Manje. I am under the leadership of Monarch Edgar Brown. Amashe. And I'm also under the superiority of Meg Williams, Linda de Kock Williams in their absence. So to say I propose or oppose the amendment would be a lie. Everything that I went through when I scrutinized the bill, it does not make sense. First and foremost, I would love to say, usuka kanjani ezweni lakho uze ezweni lami uzongitshela ukuthi ngiphatha abantu bami kanjani noma ngikhulume nabo kanjani. Two, when you are a parent or a teacher or any other guardian you may name, before you do whatever your child wants or needs, how do you know before they say it? Umntana makakhala ngithi uyambuza ukuthi ukhalelani uyakutshela. Right? So, it has been said time and time again in this gathering that the Khoisans were saying they're excluded and whatnot. What about the other issues? Who told you what we need? We are here as the public. We are just here to listen to whatever that they are saying, but they're not Khoisans. Forgive me if I am being rude, but I literally feel that you cannot tell me what I need if you have not been in my shoes. Had it been Khoisan leaders who are sitting here, they would know what they're talking about. For me, I feel like this is just a publicity stunt. Forgive me if I'm offending anyone, but how do you fix something that was broken 28 years ago in just a day? How many hours has it been since we're here? Everybody is giving opinions, not facts. Opinions, I said, not facts. Now, I want to pose a question to the panel. Is this bill for us, by us? Because apparently democracy is power of the people, by the people, for the people. Who is the bill for, by who and why? Amashe.
Thank you. The next one. Yagankan, Kenan with the second one.
Amashe.
Ipulele me umang. Hanyani fela. Hana memo unowi pulets. Orle bichokma. Come back to the mic for my recordings. We pulets. Bampulela mona hore unoi teki me manje ijwalo. Ijwalo moniso. Okay, thank you, because I wanted that to understand. Thank you. The next ma.
Dumela, nakali vizo ke Matapelo Chila, and Gezwago National Khoisan Kingdom, Sasolbek. My point that they have bona kipamisa litok amranako. It's because of, as a young person, I felt a bit disappointed. Kataba ya hore, ha re hlaisa dintlha, then you will emphasize that we should not off-ramp or we should not say this, we should say that. Because I think today, it was a consultative meeting to hear rona re batla eng. And from the leaders who came up here, I think it is clear we are not sure if we agree or disagree with the bill. Because of number one, we respect the point that you mentioned, the kingdom that you visited, but it was not enough. Because some of us in Sasolbek, I don't think there was any consultative meeting that took place. So it is clear, this bill it's still confusing us even to this day. Because you said now we are going to vote who agrees and who disagrees with the bill. What about the one who says, I don't understand, I don't know what to vote on? So this thing, my leadership, I would really like to see amongst the committee someone who understands the nature of the question in and out, so that if I do advise. Because as much as we say that we do not identify ourselves as a branch, but we identify ourselves as a community, but the bill says that there must be a branch, then it simply means that it will always contradict with our vision, the bill of the government, Lerona, as the Khoi people.
Thank you. The next one.
I'm share my family. Let me recognize the kings and chiefs in presence. Amashe. My name is Ngaba Mvola. I am also from the National Khoisan Kingdom in Sasolburg. My Excellency, when you spoke addressing the masses here, you kept making an emphasis that we are not here for anything else but to know that if the Khoisans in presence accept or they reject the bill. Now, my leader, I am saying to you, it is not a matter of recognition. That one is not the question, my father, because it is said, it is known that the San people, the natives of this land, what I'm trying to say is I cannot shelter a stranger and then the stranger comes back and tells me to identify and seek my sense of identity and existentialism from them. So it is not about the matter of whether we want to be recognized or not. You must recognize the Khoisan people. That one is not a question, and you know this. My second point, when the first batch of speakers left the stage, you made it clear that, you rather tried to make it clear that you were not here to advance any politics. I believe that the first batch of speakers made it seem that you are advancing politics because of the, how do I put this, the approach of your bill. Whether we like it or not, we can give it fancy terms and whatnot. The approach of the bill is political. Because what is happening right now is you are asking us, do you accept the bill or not? My father, you cannot offer me a bag of maize, but there are stones inside. You cannot offer me a seat on your table, and yet, in the nutshell, you are coming with politics. That's not how it works. Because what should have happened, I know it is not my place to say that maybe I am teaching you your job. I am not. This is a mere suggestion. What should have happened is that you do know, you do recognize that there are kings within these clans and communities. You do recognize that there are chiefs. The legislature table, the parliament of the Free State should have sat down with the kings, the chiefs, liaise this with them, and then they go back to their people with full information. Because now choosing such a time and bringing people here, because you could even tell when we came in here there were fewer chairs because you did not expect people to come in such masses. This was one of those political stances whereby we would have just parachuted this. We have recordings, they didn't come, but we did our job. So my father, with that I am saying, if you are to say as the parliament you are doing your job, do it while recognizing the San people, not only politically but respectfully. Because my problem here is you kept mentioning the constitution that needs to be followed and respected. With all due respect, we are referring to the same constitution that was not catered for the San people. We are referring to the same constitution that does not even advocate for 50% of the Bantu people's rights, but it was made in a foreign land for foreign people who still own the wealth of this country. And now you are addressing the indigenous people. You are addressing the natives of this land. So with all due respect, we came here, we showed up to respect the Parliament of Free State. So in your answers going forward, my father, what I ask is do not disrespect or rather undermine the intelligence of the San people in the House. I'm assured.
Thank you. Thank you. Next.
Hello, my name is John Likitani. I'm from Kronstadt. I just want to say
Let's give him a chance.
ne ke batla go bua ka constitution ena e yona o buang ka yona. Constitution ha o bua ka yona o bua ka yona e le hore o fa batho ka tsela e nepahetseng. Ska tla ka constitution go batho bo sa ba fi yona ka tsela e nepahetseng. Kapa constitution ha e be to ba fa di rules and conditions tsa di ho ba tla ba phele ka teng. You are not the owner of these people. You found them in this land. Keep on ha o tlika constitution o ba phela ba etseng. You are not the owner of this land, even if you can be a governor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The last one.
Amashe ke Timothy Wahasekhoto from the National Quicksand Kingdom, appraising the Abakosen. Ndadwaka, my first question is this: what was the purpose of this hearing if it does not allow the people to put their inputs? Second, you call us here onto the podium to give you our inputs. The next thing, after we give you our inputs, you come back and you tell us we are of rent. That alone simply says you are denying us our freedom of expression. Secondly, we as the Christian people are not begging to be recognized. I cannot be a landlord and you come into my buildings or you come into my vicinity, recognize everyone in my vicinity, and when you have to recognize me as the landlord, I have to follow the terms and conditions that you come with. Therefore, for us to accept this bill as the natives of this land, this bill must cater what is that we are for. You put in the coat of arms our figures, the very same figures you don't respect, you call them rock arts, but yet you call the paintings of the Egyptians the hieroglyphs. The very same figures that talks of diversity, the very same figures that talks of Ubuntu, but you won't even show us Ubuntu. Our Basotho but today you have made this hearing about you. What about the masses and people who are standing here waiting to give their input so that this bill can suit them also? Because you cannot recognize us on your terms, yet you have found us in this land. Amashe.
Thank you. I think I have accommodated everyone. I think I have accommodated everyone. Everyone has been accommodated. I now want to give over to honorable members to say their word, starting from that side. Oh, my apology. Yes, Mama.
Good day. My name is Irma from Skonken Paris. I was covered, but I've only one question. Since we are recognized, Afrikaans is besig om uit te sterwe in ons skole. Let Afrikaans come back as I submit.
Okay. Thank you. Kibona mogolo mona. Are mo including ke mogolo. Arimuntliden Mama, come. And then I'll come to Honorable Moleleki, Honorable Pulwana, and go that side. Arimuntleden Sibaka.
Goeiemiddag, Chair en wat. Ek wil net vir julle sê, gee die Khoisan is ons land. Is ons land. Zuma klomp vir ons, hy kry geld elke maand. Gee ook vir ons geld. Is nie 'n politieke platform nie, maar gee mense wat hulle toekom, want hulle ons is Khoisans. Ons is gebore Khoisans. Gee die mense wat hulle toekom. Dis al wat ons vra.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Akere jwale ho tla fihlella mane mo re tlameleng re kwale. Jwale ke kopa hore batho ba ntseng ke fantate wa ho qetela. A re ntate.
Ke a leboha modulasetulo. Ke nna Morena. Ke supporta taba ya bontate ba babedi ba Makhwisa. Nna ntlha ya ka e nngwe fela. Lekgetlo le tlang o botse bona pele bona ba batlang. Ska tla ka baetapele ba wena o tlang ka bona ho tswa ko ha ba ka be ba representa Khoisane ena. Ba representa Khoisane ya bona ya parliament. O tshwere ba romme wena jalo ka radipolotiki e le bo radipolotiki. Khoisane is physically on the ground.
Mamelang he ke a leboha. Ke batla le utlwisise. Ke batla le utlwisise. Bill kapa se ka molao se tlisitswe ke lefapha la COGTA. Mme se tlisa bili ena ntlong ya ketsa molao. Bili ena lefapha la COGTA le qadile ho e rala ka mora consultation and number of concerns. Ke o parmamelane so that how bua bo utlwa. Jwale it's a baby of number of consultation done by the department. Jwale rona re tlo batla ho utlwa setjhabeng re le legislature, not department. Re batla ho utlwa hore bili ke ena lona le reng. It's not kore ke batla ho utlwisisa. Bili ena ha ba tloa fela ba be se ba etsa. It was born out of number of consultation, but it must be tested. So we are ke kopa rutlwane ntate ke public hearing, ke public hearing, ke kopa rutlwane. Now I'm saying I'm giving honorable members here to raise their view. Okay. Hauna letho mme.
Ke a leboha motsamaiso wa mosebetsi modulasetulo. Hangata ha nke ke lakatse ho bua ha re tlile di-public hearing modulasetulo hobane sebaka ke sa lona hore le ntshe maikutlo. Jwanong ke nahana hore ha re ka mamelana ra hlomphana kopano ena e tla ya moo yang teng. Maikutlo a rona a ke ke a re thusa le ho kwata ha rona. Rona re lekgotla la ketso ya melao. Re lekgotla la ketso ya melao. Re etsa melao. Constitution ya re dumella hore e lona le nkang karolo yona le voutang dikgethong tse ding le tse ding. And ha o sa vote majority a ba vouta a fa rona sebaka sa hore molao ke onana. Jwale lefapha le entse ka hohle hore ho be le se ka molao. E qala pele e le a white paper. White paper ke consultation between the department and all the relevant stakeholders. High Cloud white paper, it's a major at the stages, see green paper of a bill. So how about a bill? It's a hotel nkang bile ena na le testa le batho re na re fitlhile monana re consultile na. So ere lebeletse go tswa ho lona ke a hore bile ena ena le bofokodi mona le mona re support monana le monana le monana etsa tjenana ke yona ntho re expectile go tswa ho lona mara mosebetsi ona ha o kale ka je kwa le re bona re tlile monana. But we wanted your input because we value you. We are in a democratic dispensation. Democracy, muso democracy, muso kikabatu kabatu. Kika orikle mona na rikono nyon na maikutore. Le renga se somatiso sena samlao. So sa ba fitlile batho ba khokha ba fitla mara the bill is here gore ne re sa tshwanela ba re tlile mo tshwanetse re bile ra ilo se ba le makoisane ga se ka mokgwa molao sebetsang ka teng molao o re e yang bathong before the president can sign it into act it must have the views of the people and those people ke lona. So ha re tlemo ha ona ya senyetsanye monako ha re senyetsane nako ha re keepane busy. We are not keeping one another busy but we try to find a common ground to say are we agreeing with this bill? Should we include the Khoisan into the mainstream of traditional leadership, or we should not include them? That's what the bill says. And then from all of you who have stood up here and you are saying, let them be included. They are the indigenous people of this country. They are what, they are what, all good things that you are saying. That's all what we want. So with respect, Arinken process na our parliament e tlile ho lona. Rinke le monyetla. Rinke ile boikarabelo ba mmuso. Because constitution ba file matla. Ha o sa vote dikgethong tsena tse fitileng ka 1994 vote. Wa vota ka 99, wa vota ka 2004, wa vota ka 2009, unto vota all these years. So let that democracy work for you. So release that democracy into practicality now. And then if you have a consent to say, Rona re le mokgatlo itseng, department hayata, just raise it with respect. So that when that touch on the fapen by no theory, and then back on Kelaga took over about 1 hour, how did we arrive here? Haratswa fellow said reduce at the machine. It was a process. Thank you for respecting our fellow Harun.
Thank you, Dr. Chabalala.
Let me take this opportunity and nakililebo sichaba saiso. Maybe natural person kiyama ki khashwa ko bona the young people being at the forefront, and that on its own it gives us courage. We appreciate all the inputs, and that is why kileka leboela monyetla wa hore ke be ka hare ho the legislature and understand it how it works. It will not help us maranaka ke le hlomphile kaofela ha re tlo kgona hore re thusahale ha re sa tsamaye ka the legal framework. in each and every space, sa bophelo ba rona, we are regulated by a particular framework. It is because of the same constitution. And if you go to chapter 12, ya rona e buang ka di traditional leaders, we are section 2, subsection 2A. National kapa province o tlamehile e develop a framework e re tlo tsamayang ka yona. And now I'm happy, maybe kuba ke tswa kwa mareneng, and I happened to be the mayor. I worked le marena, and I can understand that the value ya marena, or marena haba appointuwa ke from the birth, ke tsele modimo wa ba bapileng ka. So ha ona dipolitiki ha bo kgethuwa, but because of the system ese ele teng ka hara marena modulasetulo, le lona le na le dipolitiki tsa lona tse etsang hore re se ka tseba hore re recognize mang ha re recognize mang. Now it can't be us who take a decision, it is lona le tlameileng le re bolelle hore rona re le mofuta o wa morabe, our own king ki ena le ena. So process e ha ya kwallwa ka ntle. Ntate Mashinini o re le ntse le na le monyetla wa ho etsa the written submissions to this consultation e entsweng ke lefapha hore le batla eng ha le batle eng. Rona re le parlamente, it is our responsibility re lo e kenya molaong after the consultation ya lona. So ho bohlokwa hore re utlwisise ka process e molaong. If ne re sa tlameha hore re etse taba e, I'm sure honorable Ntate Bulwane o buile, I am sure nka be re se teng mona, but because it is part of the legal framework, we are bound by melao le melawana hore this process e tlameile e etsahale. Jwale nna ke ne ke re ka boikokobetso, ha re so kwalo this process. Yes, of course, the approach e utlwang ba bua ka yona, I respect it. Le marena bileng teng bo chief links ba bileng teng, mara ho utlwahala ha o bua mona hore certain part of the tribe does not, maybe hore rona re excluded, we don't fall under that kingship or royal kingdom. So it is also important for your inputs to guide us. Le rona re lo etsa this as a provincial act, re imatahanye le the principal act, the very same principal act le yona ntse na le, should I say, contradictions tseo re tlameileng rona re di correct, but we can't correct them when we don't have a provincial act. And ha ke qetela modulasetulo ne ke re fela how sheba the insertion of this section 3A, hona le mo ngotswe mona e re recognition of Khoisan community and branches. I exclude, it speaks of the recognition of the community and the branch. Rona ha re tsebe community ya Makhoisan, it's ke lona, that's why le tlatsitse ngolo. And ha le tlatsitse holo, it then tells us hore hona le marena a tsebang setjhaba sa ona. So marena ha re thuse at least the input into this and say ha re batle ena re batla ena. Rona re pasisa mane ka go legislature, re pasisa ka di input tsa lona tjhaba sa heso. Ke ka ho ke sa kopang hore ha iso kwalwe. Let us do this process re ne re tswele pele ka yona until we win this battle. So ke yona ntho kgwetswe ke kopang ho etsa ho lona hore molao se ka molao se ke sa lona a re se sebedise molemong wa bana ba rona le bana ba rona. Ke a leboha.
Thank you, Ntate Thembeni Ngangisa, o ile a fihla.
La ke a leboha modulasetulo, ke lebohe opportunity ena, and I must say now I was happy ke di inputs because purpose ya parlamente who enhance our democracy. Kore, you must come, express your views freely, with no fear, with no favor. And the inputs, the manner in which they were made, even if it was emotional, but it says that you recognize you have a right and you are going to speak and you are enjoying it. And that is important. But let me say, I'm not necessarily discussing your issues, because your issues ourselves are going to sit and discuss. We're going to have ample time. But let me say this. A country, when a country is established, there's an identity of that country. And an identity of that country is coat of arms. Coat of arms is an identity of the country. By looking at it, you know what matters most into that country. It's the seal of the country. It's so significant because it's the first thing you must do anywhere in the world. So people must recognize you. Our identity as South Africa is the reflection of the indigenous people of this country, the Khoisan people, which was done first and foremost, before anything else, before even the constitution. Our identity as South Africa is the Khoisan people, the indigenous, which appears on the coat of arms. Even the motto, Ke e Kara Ke, is not a language of any other group except the indigenous people of this country. This is who we are. This is our pride. It means diverse people united. And that's what we must appreciate, because you are a glue that puts the country together. We could not use a motto of any other group, Xhosa, Zulus, Afrikaner, but the group that could unite us was the indigenous people, the Khoisan people. And the motto that could unite us was not an English one, was not a Zulu one, was the language that can unite us all, Ke e Kara Ke, which is diverse people united. So you have been recognized not because someone wants to, because you deserve. You are indigenous people here in this country, and that's why all of us identify South Africa with you. So I wanted to make that clear. It must not appear as if something new has just erupted. Someone has just discovered something. I'm saying our identity is your identity. Thank you.
Baie dankie voorsitter. Ek praat in Afrikaans want ek verstaan daar is heel wat mense in die vertrek vandag in hierdie vergadering wat graag Afrikaans wil praat en hoor. So, al wat ek wil sê is, hierdie komitee wat hier vandag is nie 'n politieke party nie. Hier is al die politieke partye van die wetgewer is hier verteenwoordig. Ons verteenwoordig ook nie die departement van Kokta nie. Ons verteenwoordig die wetgewer wat verkies is deur julle, deur die mense van die Vrystaat. So daar is nou net een ding wat ek wil duidelik maak. Daar is baie sake wat julle nou hier geopper het vandag oor die geld en die stipends en die grond en al so aan. Daar is net een vraag wat hier gevra word vandag. Die bill is 'n proposal. Die bill is 'n proposal en julle kan dit verander deur julle insette. En ons as die wetgewer gaan julle insette gebruik om veranderings te maak aan hierdie proposal wat hier voor julle is. Hierdie is nog nie 'n wet nie. Dit is nog net 'n proposal en dit is hoekom ons vandag hier is, sodat julle vir ons kan sê hoe moet ons hierdie ding beter maak. Al wat hierdie proposal wil doen is om te sê die Khoisan mense moet erken word as tradisionele leiers in die Vrystaat. Dit is die enigste vraag. Daar is ander wetgewing, soos wat agbare Shabalala gesê het. Daar is 'n legal framework. Met ander woorde, daar is ander wetgewings en ander prosesse wat besluit oor die stipends en so aan. die kommission moet besluit oor wie nou die erkende leierskap is van die Khoisan in die Vrystaat. Maar julle moet saamkom en julle moet as 'n erkende tradisionele gemeenskap moet julle by mekaar kom en julle eie leiers identifiseer. So dit is, ek wou net dit duidelik maak. Daar's net een vraag hier vandag. Wil julle erken word as 'n tradisionele gemeenskap of wil julle nie? Dis al. Daar's ander wetgewings en prosesse wat gaan praat oor al die ander dinge wat julle opgeopper het vandag. So ek sê vir julle baie dankie vir julle almal wat vandag gekom het en almal van julle wat die insette gelewer het. Dit is presies wat openbare vergaderings veronderstel is om te wees, waar almal vry voel om vorentoe te kom en te sê hoe hulle voel oor die saak. Baie dankie, voorsitter.
Thank you very much. And now the last question. Do you want recognition of the Khoisan? I want to see the hands, or you don't want? I want to see the hands. Those that want the recognition of the Khoisan, raise your hand. Can the camera take? And then, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can those that says, we don't want that, we reject, raise your hand. There is nothing. Thank you very much. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? Now, what is going to happen? What is going to happen after your inputs and having checked what you want to see? Can you listen, all of us, please? Thank you. All of us, we are in agreement that this is the route that we're taking as Mutaka. Thank you very much. Now, the next issue that I'm going to explain is about the processes from here. We are still going to other regions. Tomorrow we'll be in Lijoliputra. My king will be in Lijoliputra. After that we go to Mangaung and we go to Harib. That's what it's because we have to consult through and throughout. Thank you very much. And then the last thing, those gadgets, please make sure that you leave them behind because kase sotore resa motsaneng o hulenyana. Jwale wang hopotsa mona ore ba batlang ho etsa di written submission le hopola ke la ka e bua date ke di 20 tsa November. Ngola hape mo o itabole ka mogong ngolang ka teng hore na o reng. That's what we want. We tabule ka mogong o ipulelang ka teng. So the gadget, and we will still further we will still further meet with the kings because I said I want the process to be as transparent as possible. And I told them yesterday, and I'm saying it today, that we want the process to be very transparent. No fear, no favor. That's what we want. So, kikopa hari chwamo, ona lebatu baka, ari tuleng. Okay. Then hari tuamona he, kita fumana kya khola se yang kamalere ki cheke jwalo. Okay. Kita fumana se yang kamaleng, mereko pabeche janayani ibe ilete munu. Khile bile ba ai ba fesile dabi. Thank you very much. please remain seated where you are, and ba mpolella gore ka nnete ba tla etsa hohle hore le a finyelleha kaofela ha lona. Thank you very much. Modimo ke eo.